Hey YouTube. Um in this video I want to talk about the words that you speak to a child and how much that can affect that child. Um I feel like most people, they don't really know how much their words can, you know, how much trouble that their words can cause to a child's life. And I speak from experience when I say this because, growing up, I'm not going to say like I was soft, but I'm kind of sensitive, right? And so many things that were said to me, they obviously they hurt me. And the kind of family that I had, they were loving, but they wasn't gentle at all, right? Like, they would just say whatever came to mind, and that affects a child's life, right? That that could do so much harm to a child without you even recognizing it. And what's the worst thing is that the kid doesn't even realize it himself until he grows up and he starts to feel some type of way, and he's questioning, what's going on? Why do I feel like this? But it's because of what was said to him when he was younger, right? And we gotta talk about this, right? We gotta call it out, because so many kids are growing up traumatized, and it's just a broken generation, right? So we gotta call it out, right? And what's crazy is that, okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys a story. And when I was younger, I said this already, right? I was sensitive, and certain things that were said to me, I kind of just brushed it off, right? I would brush it off every time, because every time that I talked about it, and every time that I spoke my feelings, I expressed myself, I was told that I was being soft, or toughen up, or you know what I mean? And doing that kind of made me like I had to shut off my feelings so I don't feel some type of way, so I don't, you know what I mean? I had to turn my feelings off just so I don't cry or get hurt, right? And over time, that kind of made me not know how I felt, right? And that's, in the last video I talked about my identity and all this, this confusion. That was also a part of it, right? Because I didn't know how I felt. I didn't know what, like I felt a certain way, but it's like I didn't know if it was sadness. I didn't know if it was depression. I didn't know if it was anxiety. I didn't know if it was just so much confusion, right? Because I was so out of touch with my feelings, to the point where it was like I don't even know how I feel anymore, right? And that's so scary, because if you don't know what's wrong with you, then you'll never be able to address the problem, and you'll never be able to fix and heal yourself. So it's like you're just left broken, right? You're left broken to just be thrown away. And I thought like that for a long time in my life. Like, when I tell you, like, if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for Jesus, if I didn't find Jesus in my life, I would have been a bum, bro. I would have been a lame. Like, I wouldn't even try anymore, because, bro, I don't even know how I feel. I don't even I can't even tell you what's wrong with me, right? And so I'm just left to figure everything out. And the reason why that I got to a point where it was that bad is because of what was said. it's because of how I grew up, right? Always trying to brush off everything and always trying to act as if everything is okay, as if I'm not hurt, right? Even though I'm so hurt. Like, when I tell you I'm so sensitive, I'm so sensitive, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna cry if you tell me something that hurts me, right? But if I love the person, then whatever he says to me, or whatever he or she says to me, then obviously I'm gonna feel it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna react to it, right? And when that person tells you, "Oh, toughen up," "Oh, this and that," "Oh," and then you actually start to do that, right? You actually start to toughen up, and you never like let that person know, "Yo, don't say that to me. That hurt me." When you start to do that, that person will start to just go all out. Like he will say, or he or she will just go all out, and everything that person said, every word is gonna stick to you. It's gonna stick to you, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow until over time it's just gonna break you, right? Because it's basically a burden, right? And you add on to that burden with every word, everything that you say to that kid. You add on to it until it gets to a point where that kid is just confused, right? And that's why I tell you guys, your words means so much, especially to a kid that loves you. Even though, yeah, the kid can be a little bad sometimes, right? But that kid loves you, bro. That kid loves you so much. I say this because, I love my siblings, bro. I love them so much. And yeah, I was annoying. But it's because I love them. That's why I annoyed them, right? Because, I would get a kick out of it, right? And yeah, I was annoying and I was kind of bad, right? But that don't mean nothing, right? I still love them. Like I would die for them if I had to, right? And bro, seeing your loved one, it's like, bro, all right. So say you, right? You have a brother. I'm gonna tell you right now, that brother is probably working is probably working so hard for your approval, just to gain your approval, just so you can say that you're proud of him. He's probably working so hard, and every time you say something like, "Yo, don't ever do that again." "Yeah, that was stupid, bro." "Yeah, you're you're a joke." Every time you say something like that, you break the kid's confidence so hard. Like, you break, bro, the self-esteem is just evaporated. Right? And that kid's gonna grow up to be so unconfident in himself because of what was said from you, right? Because that kid, he's working so hard to gain your approval, and he doesn't even know it, right? And I'm not saying to just approve, right? To give him approval, but there's a way to go about it when he does something stupid. Right? There's a way to go about it. You don't just say whatever and hope that the kid doesn't, take that the wrong way. Or, you can't just say whatever. You gotta go about it a certain way. And I know this because I'm a drum instructor, right? I'm a music teacher. And the kids that I work with, sometimes I would be like, cause sometimes like they would mess up so bad. And I would kind of laugh a little. And bro, they would start crying, bro. Right? They would start crying. And these kids, I kind of build a relationship with them. Right? And when I tell you, like, I love them kids, man. I love them so much. They don't even know it, but I love them so much. And I know they have that relationship, right? They feel that relationship with me. And so they try so hard to gain my approval, right? And if I'm just like, "Yo, you suck at the drums, you're so bad," that kid's confidence is gonna shatter, bro. And then that kid is gonna grow up being a loser because he doesn't believe in himself, right? And that's why I say it's important to watch what you say to a kid, All right, any kid. All right, that could be your sibling. That could be, yeah, sometimes they could be annoying. Your siblings could be annoying, but bro, they're a kid, bro. They're innocent, right? So watch what you say. Have patience with the kid, and maybe one day that kid will grow up to be a good person. He'll be successful, and he'll actually add to society. So yeah, I just felt like I had to talk about that, and yeah, that's the end. But that pump looking crazy, bro. That never gets old. But yeah, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.